I just wanted to give a great big shout out to Mike Whitney today. Mike Whitney is not a subscriber to my channel, not at all. In fact, he probably doesn't even subscribe to YouTube to begin with. He is, however, a very keen observer of our economic dilemma and has been for quite some time, probably over the last 10 years or so. He is a politically non-aligned person. At times he has a libertarian slant, at other times he doesn't. He has on occasion agreed with some of Ron Paul's opinions, and at other points he didn't. And so this guy should receive some attention from every one of us here if you really want to look at the true economic picture. And if you don't want to get lied to all the time. So please Google this guy up. His name is Mike Whitney, and his economic essays are right on target, have been all along, and he knows far more about any economic issues that I could ever dream of. And every one of his predictions during the past 10 years have come true to the point of being frightening, actually. What I didn't know about Mike Whitney, since he doesn't really get into politics that much, was a little essay that was published, I think it was on Consortium News or through Counterpunch or something. Anyway, I wrote some of these excerpts down because they are worth quoting. And in this case, Mike Whitney, as I say, he's not a Democrat. He's not part of the Democratic Party. He is essentially not aligned with any party whatsoever, and he calls it like it is. So here was his take on the recent events. And in this particular essay, he was quoting Reverend Wright, the big hoopla about Obama. So he's quoting Reverend Wright and saying, America has blood on its hands. America, as Martin Luther King said, is the greatest perpetrator of violence in the world today. So what else is new? So this is the question that Whitney was asking. And he answers the question. What's new is the media is using every soapbox in the country to preach uber-nationalism and vilify America's critics as unpatriotic. Their love it or leave it gibberish is being used to tar a presidential candidate who hasn't sufficiently prostrated himself before his corporate overlords to make them feel that he can be trusted to carry out their directives. Now, Whitney is talking about Obama here. That is what's really happening. Obama is just unpredictable enough to make the parasite class nervous that he might do something crazy, like serve the public interest. That would be a real disaster. It'd be better to install someone else than take a populist like Obama. That's why the wrath of the media has descended on Obama like a Texas hailstorm. They're afraid he doesn't understand who really runs things around here. But Obama does understand it very well, as he has just proven during the APEC meeting. This is very sad news, guys. Very sad news. Right means nothing, and he's talking about Reverend Wright here. I'm sorry. He's talking about Reverend Wright, so Mike Whitney is talking about Reverend Wright. Means nothing. Right means nothing to the media. or to the men behind the curtains. If you didn't provide an avenue for denigrating Obama, he'd be treated with the same indifference as the thousands of other blacks who were herded at gunpoint into the Superdome during Hurricane Katrina. It's Obama's scalp that they want, of course, and that's the real prize. It's a turf war. The bigwigs are defending their fiefdom with the interlopers. They're even rolling out the heavy artillery, expecting a full-blown conflagration. The election season is shaping up to be a real mess. Better buckle up. Obama has entered the crosshairs of America's criminal oligarchy, and things are bound to get nasty from this point on. You know, no one has the answers anymore. Perhaps Obama is the least dangerous candidate that we could possibly wish for, if you can even call this an election anymore. I would certainly hope so. But my hopes are somewhat dimmed when I see speeches at AIPAC where he agrees to basically just to continue the status quo. I'm afraid things in this country will have to get bad enough for the average person to basically get off their asses and start something revolutionary, as not going to work anymore, just shutting the whole thing down. But that's not going to happen anytime soon unless, as I say, things get bad enough for the average citizen here before they hit rock bottom. And that might be some time off, but it's probably coming. See you later. Good night.